Welcome, Coms. Can join me, Comrade Warden, and whoever from SISMAC wants to join. Desiree, Tokelo, do you want to be at the back first? Let's join. We're going to start the first session. Desiree, where's my Comrade Jack? Will you sit here with me? Okay. Welcome back from lunch, everybody. My name is Ferin Pedro. I'm the South Africa Senior Campaigner at 350.org. Whoops, I added a 5 there. Hi. And we're going to start the next session. So I'm facilitating the next session, so I'm actually going to go and behind the desk. But I wanted to start off with the song that the comrades from SISMAC taught me when we were at our last workshop, because I was like, oftentimes I'm the one speaking and they listening. And so this time I said, please teach me something I want to learn, because I never get to confidently start a song. So now I'm going to try and confidently start a song. And I practiced. Okay. So, must I teach you first, or will you know it? You'll know it. Okay, I'm going to just trust that you know it. Okay. Kai Kappa Kai SISMAC Rialuena. Kai Kappa Kai SISMAC Rialuena. Kai Kappa Kai. Am I supposed to sing? Kai Kappa Kai SISMAC Rialuena. SISMAC Rialuena SISMAC.
SISMAC SISMAC Rialuena. Kai Kappa Kai SISMAC Rialuena. Kai Kappa Kai.
That was my first time doing that, and I was very happy with the results, even though Tokelo laughed at me. I know it's comradely love and laughter. So thank you very much, Cons, for indulging me and getting us in the Vuma to talk about something so important: transforming our future with renewable energy in the way that Africans have always organized our resources collectively, right? For the common good, for our community, for our public. So I'm gonna hand over soon to Warden. Warden is the outreach communication. Oh no, I really forgot your name. Tell me your title.
My name is Warren Blau, and I'm the Community Mobilization Officer for the Green Connection.
Thank you. Community Mobilization Officer for the Green Connection. Excellent. Doing lots of outreach in communities, especially with coastal communities, fishing communities in the Western Cape. Wonderful. Desiree, can I ask you to introduce yourself in Tokelo? Just what you do and where you're from.
Okay, thank you. Good day, everyone. My name is Desiree Malika. I'm from SISMAC, Sekhukhune Combined Mining Affected Communities at Limpopo. Thanks.
And
Yeah, good day, comrades. My name is Tokelo Mahlakwana. I'm from Limpopo also. I'm part of core group of renewable energy in Sekhukhune.
Thanks. Okay, great. So we're going to talk about how we can fight and win socially owned renewable energy in the IEP, that's the work that the Green Connection is doing, so the Integrated Energy Plan. I'm going to talk about that. And we're also going to talk about a case study that the comrades from SISMAC, as well as CALS, LHR, and us at 350.org, and Transition Townships, are working on to actually develop and implement a socially owned renewable energy project in Sekhukhune. So we're going to talk about those two things today. But before we do, Warren, take a seat, because I'm just going to be a little bit longer. I'm so sorry. But I wanted to just check with the audience that we're talking about the same thing. What can I get from participants in this meeting? What is the socially owned renewable energy what? Tell me, who knows what this means, what this phrase means? Do I have a mic person? No.
What I know about this is like before we used only to do power, getting it from the municipality. But now when I put my house a solar panel, it's a renewable energy, because I'm not harming anything, but I'm doing energy out of the mineral resource, so out of the sun, and then nothing is getting hurt. In fact, I'm protecting the environment.
Right. So renewable energy, not using, like Comrade Alex was saying, we don't want to burn fossil fuels. Oh, are you going to move? Okay. Comrade Alex was saying we don't want to burn fossil fuels anymore. We want to use energy sources that are renewable and don't cause any harm, right? So that's a good one. But when we speak about socially owned renewable energy, is there anything specific about that? So we're talking renewable energy, yes, not fossil fuels, solar, wind, stuff that we can use in our environment for energy sources that aren't as harmful and won't cause global warming. Yeah?
Socially owned renewable energy refers to a society, so a community that comes together to fund a renewable energy project within that community. So it's not state-owned, it's more decentralized, and the community then has the power over the resource, also has the responsibility to maintain the resource or build upon it. So it's a form of self-empowerment when individuals come together and then socially own renewable energy.
Thank you. Yes, a lot of socially owned renewable energy, or the examples that when people refer to socially owned renewable energy, they refer to these community cooperatives, energy cooperatives that are where the community has the decision-making power and they have the majority ownership stake. There's one more on that side. I don't know if there's anybody else, but you could just do. Oh, there's one person at the back, and then Rob, and then. And
also just a 2-minute warning for you, Farron.
Oh, thank you.
I'm thinking a community rooftop solar.
Community rooftop solar would be an example. Okay, so I'm quickly going to go through my 2-minute warning to just say. One of the reasons I'm facilitating this, and this is a really important discussion, because as the Climate Justice Coalition, one of our key demands in our Green New ESCOM campaign is for a transformative, socially owned, renewable energy future. So if you see in our 18 demands in the Green New ESCOM campaign, we have policies and incentives. One of our demands is we want policies and incentives to enable socially owned renewable energy in workers, communities, small to medium businesses and families can own and benefit from clean energy. So gender, racial, and economic justice must guide these policies, right? So that's one of our very important demands, and we can see that that's a transformative demand for our just energy future, because it's about changing the system and who owns what and who has power and decision-making power over our energy systems. And if you look at this definition of renewable energy on the website, you'll see that it is talking about a lot of the things people here have discussed. Renewable energy, so that's not fossil fuels. Where energy is owned by workers, cooperatives, communities, citizens, municipalities, and the state through entities like ESCOM, And the aim of this would be so that the benefits of energy can go not just to multinational companies or corporates or even political elites, but to ordinary people, to all of us, to the working class majority. So that is how we think about it. And I won't go into this now because I don't have time, but just to say that when I speak about socially owned renewable energy, I'm really thinking about, as you said, for renewable energy for society. So a working definition I've got on top there, and part of why I'm showing this to you at the beginning is because I'm hoping that comrades can critique or add or take away or look at this and we can think about, is this correct? Is this what we mean? Is this our shared vision of socially owned renewable energy? So here I'm saying it refers to renewable energy produced for the needs and purposes of society, so whatever we need it for, where the means to create this energy belongs predominantly to society as a whole. So the infrastructure, the resources to be able to provide infrastructure, energy would belong to society as a whole. And I sort of divide that up, I don't know if I do it only, but I'm doing that now, into public ownership and community ownership. So public ownership would still, under this definition, be called socially owned renewable energy, but here the renewable energy infrastructure is owned by the state, and the difference would be that we would have significant community and labor oversight and participation in that. And then community ownership would be like cooperatives or trusts, where communities and or workers collectively own and manage the renewable energy resources, share the benefits and the decision-making responsibilities, okay? So if you look at that definition, think about if you agree to working definition. Is that what you think is true? Okay, and then some examples of the different kinds of socially owned renewable energy. I'll just quickly say the AIDC has written a lot about a public pathway for Eskom, and then there's some really good examples of community ownership in the Global South in this presentation, so I can send it around. But in Puerto Rico and other places that have the same kind of resource barriers that we do, but where they're doing this kind of thing. So some questions to consider for this discussion as we go through these two case studies is, or the case study and the work that Green Connection is doing. What is our shared vision for socially owned renewable energy? Do we have one? Do we need one? And what is it? And I've given my proposal for what I think that could look like and the definition. How can we support each other to enable more socially owned renewable energy at state level, so public state level, but also at our community level and workers? How can we connect renewable energy experts, researchers and activists to share knowledge and experiences to realize our demand for SOAR? Do we need a SOAR community of practice maybe? And then what actions can we take to build SOAR? How can socially owned renewable energy? How can we support solidarity and networks for united actions, awareness and events to promote the vision and foster SOAR? So I'm hoping that some of those answers will come in these presentations, I know they will, but also your inputs and thinking about these questions will be very important. So I'm going to hand over to Warren. I already forgot your title, Community Outreach Officer. Community? No, tell me.
The community mobilization.
Community mobilization. Okay. So I'm going to hand over to Warren, the Community Mobilization Officer at Green Connection. Comrades at CISMAC. Over to you, Warren.
Thank you, Farron. Forward, Farron, forward.
Forward.
Forward, Farron, forward. Amandla. Amandla. It a lot of times now. I'm the mobilization officer for Green Connection. Yeah, I'm coming from Beaufort West. I'm staying there in the Karoo, but working in the West Coast, all down from Saldanha to Honeklebaai, Port Nolloth, Namakwa, Richtersveld. So yes, so today we're just going to talk a little bit around the integrated energy plan. I manage my comrade. Put it up.
Like this.
So, do anyone know what is this integrated energy plan? Okay, let me put the rules down. Nah, I only have one rule. No one is wrong. So, take the chance. Anyone? My leader.
You said there's no wrong answer. So when I read the word integrated energy plan, so it means that you are going to integrate most of the, let me just say, products that they are in line with the energy plan, renewable energy. Like if you take the one that you are going to use, the electricity one, if you take that you are going to use water, if you take the other one that, so what we are saying is that it's integrated. Yeah, I think if I guess.
Anyone else?
My thinking is like using the natural resources, like using the sea, putting the solar panels, the ones that use the wind, and the one that goes into the desert. And then you put the solar panels there. The solar panels, you put them into the grid to support the current energy that we are using, but using the all sort of renewals, but producing like the wind solar panels inside the sea. And then in the desert, using the solar panels that are going to receive from the sun, and then supplying the grid to make sure that we change the old system that we're using to go with the times that are not harmful to the environment.
Last one? Can we have a last one?
I think it won't be much of the edit, but it would be to say I think it's integrating all sources of production of energy production into one plan that seeks to respond into the energy needs of the country, not trying to balance even the transition from coal onto how are you going to be using hydro in collaboration with coal as well as other sources of production of energy.
So, thanks guys for their answers. The other question is, before I get into my presentation, can you please tell me who is responsible for this integrated energy plan?
So at first, because of how Section 6 looks like within the Energy Act, it would mean that it's Gwede. But however, now things have changed seemingly that we see that Ramkgopa is now the leader of energy within the country. And I think now it's a conflicted answer, but it would be Ramkgopa at this point. But initially it was Gwede.
Anyone else? Are we all going with Comrade Gwede? Where's the other mic, guys? There was 2 mics. Okay. There's one.
Sleeping on the job. Where was the other one? Oh, back there.
I think right now, the person who's responsible for that integrated energy plan, it's the government. But what then becomes my own view is to say that plan is actually a plan that should involve all stakeholders that are within the sector, because that plan needs to reflect the view of the communities, need to reflect the view of business sector, need to reflect the views of local government as provincial up to national. And every other department that is within the national department, the national parliament need to be reflected in that plan. What role will they play? What role will be played by higher education? What role will be played by science and innovation? All other sectors, DFFE, need to reflect. Because if this plan was to be implemented correctly so, it will need each and every stakeholder to play a certain role in it. So the structuring of it now, it's something that needs to be contested, because if powers only lies with the certain minister representing government, it then says the sole wisdom is lying in that ministry to determine the way forward that need to be taken. And their failure would mean the collapse of the energy plan in South Africa.
Thank you, my Congress. Amandla. So, guys.
Warren, there's another hand. I don't know if you want to take it at the back here. Is there? No?
Can we go to the next slide, please?
I don't know if he wants more questions there. Warren, do you want more questions, or do you want to
Go
carry
back,
on?
go back, please. Comrade, sorry, I didn't see you. Okay, it's fine. Give him.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to add another maybe body that have the roles of overseeing the energy aspects within our country, which is NERSA as well. DMRE and NERSA, as Comrade have said, to say that it is Kwedemantashe, but it's the DMRE and also NERSA. I think they are the ones who are also responsible for the integrated energy plan, since they are also having roles in overseeing the energy policies and energy. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, comrade. My comrade Ferran, can you go? So, date states, what is this integrated energy plan we are talking about? So, I start off with the National Energy Act, Section 6. My comrade just talked about it here. So, Section 6 of the Act requires the Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy to develop and publish the Integrated Energy Plan, which we call the IEP, and renew it on yearly basis. According to both eco-justice organizations, it is this lack of proper updated energy planning that lies at the root of the country's current energy problems. Are we clear now on that one, coverage? So, yes. So, as we go on, here is what they tell. This is the correct answer, what the IEP is. The IEP is an integrated energy plan, is a roadmap of the future energy landscape. For South Africa, which guides future energy infrastructure investment and policy development, which uses consumption trends within different sectors of the economy. Are you clear now? Are you clear, comrades? Are we together? So far, okay. Thank you. Can I ask just 2 questions? For you, comrades, this is just for a little exercise thing. For you, comrades, what do you want to see? What do you want to see in this plan? I have some ideas that we get from the coastal communities where we work in, but just for the moment, what do you want to see in this plan? Where's the mic, guys? Can I get yeah?
Okay, thank you very.
Just on that note, if you haven't spoken, speak up, and if you've spoken a lot, maybe step back. Okay. Just so we get more voices. Not to say that you can't speak more than once, but just as a way of balancing out so we get many different voices.
Thank you very much. For me, I would like to say I'd like to see the implementation of this act. Yeah.
For me, I would say viable, affordable energy, because it doesn't help to have all these concepts, but it's not affordable to the working class.
Thanks. There was a hand up front, yeah.
Decentralized, communal, and self-empowered is a big one, and then harnessing the natural resources in South Africa, using turbine energy, using wave energy, using all of our resources, all of our renewable resources, as much as we possibly can, but also the way we manage that needs to be decentralized so that we're not reliant on one company.
Thank you. As a contribution to society and relief for employment, I would like to see perhaps a training center from the government where we could train technicians of our own how to manufacture panels and follow the minerals that we actually are from our extractives. Develop companies owned by our black people. Thank you.
Okay, comrades. Thank you. One last.
What I want to see on this plan is more participation, especially on those who are very vulnerable, because in most of the cases, the pastors will come and preach and go without allowing the people that are going to bear the brunt the most when coming to pay back time. So it's quite important that we are included, especially in decision making. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades.
There was one hand that was stretching very high in the back. I don't know if, can I take that one? Yeah. Sure. Okay. And it's someone who hasn't had a chance yet.
The last one, that's the last one.
So this is the last one.
Thanks, Alex. I was just going to add, I think, a higher reliance on renewable energy, energy that isn't harmful to the health of communities, especially in the context of a health system that can ill afford to respond to those health consequences. Thank you.
Thank you, comrades. I said I have two questions. Nah? So the last question is, from your side, why do you think this IEP is important? Only two people.
Who's had the hand? Did you call yourself into order? Is that because you just spoke? Okay. Sifiso.
Thanks, Alex. I think, as it stipulates there, it should be a roadmap that gives direction and clarity as to how do we distribute, how do we, I just lost the technical word, but I'm not a technical person. But before that, I'm just concerned about this piece of legislation. I think Kolwani touched on it, because it fell under the Minister of Mineral Resources. Now that that department has been broken down, now in between, we do not know who's where does the responsibility lie. And if you check there, it says that it must be reviewed on yearly basis. And when you review something, we've seen Parliament failing on numerous attempts to include people when it comes to formulation of these pieces of legislation. And they've never won any court case when it comes to being able to speak with people and be able to put people in the center of everything, which is one thing that we've always fought for. And yet, we're speaking about this piece of legislation, which is important, yet we do not know whose responsibility it lies in, and that gives me a problem. I'm sitting here asking myself, then when we want to ask for people that should be carrying this this roadmap, we do not know where to go. That's problematic on its own, and it will take years for us to be able to go to the right place. Thanks.
Thank you, comrade. One more. Okay, the side, and that would be the last one.